Hi and welcome to the next instalment of the lockdown series. This evening we're going to chat to a very special person, Kara Jaye who is based in Marbella in Porto Banús. We're going to catch up with her because she is giving back to the community and we're finding out exactly what she's doing. She's one of those people that is doing the kindness.
So I'm Kara Jaye. I've been in Marbella for 20 years, just under 20 years. I have the Boardwalk restaurant in Marbella, and I do a lot of charity work with dog rescues, domestic violence, mainly orphanages now. And then recently, obviously, these families that are below the breadline.
Yeah, so I was speaking to Lee Gardner on another interview and he suggested that I chat with you. So you're doing something very special. Can you tell us a bit about what you're doing?
Basically, we was through Society magazine, we started feeding Age Concern because there was a lot of people that couldn't come out of their houses and were in desperate situation, obviously, with the COVID virus, COVID-19. So that sort of grew when we started getting families contact me. I mean, people do know that I do a lot of charity work, so you wouldn't believe some of the calls I get. We're doing 18 to 20 cases a day at the moment, so there's a huge amount. So we started buying food and taking it to them. That's now grown massively in the space of about 10 days, and we're now having the whole community buying, shopping, I'm collecting. We're literally starting at about 8:39 in the morning and finishing, well, I just walked in now, as you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some desperate, awful cases of babies living in squats with no water and electricity. And this isn't, I mean, we have to make it clear, this isn't because of the virus and the lockdown or anything else. They've had an avenue to contact, and they've contacted us because suddenly people are interested if there's somebody out there, whereas usually they wouldn't even know who to contact.
And are there authorities and charities, and is there help for you guys in Spain? Are they really helpful, or is it you just left on your own? Are you feeling a bit alone?
I'm not feeling alone because the community has been absolutely amazing. I mean, I don't know if you've seen today through the Boardwalk posts, but we collected a huge amount of food today. Yeah. So the community is very much there. We've raised, I think there's 700 on the GoFundMe already. We have another 500 donated. We're doing a big launch, which is Lee Gardner, who put me in contact with you. He's him along with a lot of other DJs are going to be doing a huge thing through the Mirage nightclub in Porto Banús.
Yeah.
Kids Party Spain are going to be doing a kids party lockdown with magicians and princesses and all things like this. So the community is really coming together for these cases, and they're all heartbroken as I am. I mean,
of course.
You can see from my eyes I don't stop bloody crying at the moment.
What about the authorities? Are they doing anything to help you?
We aren't in contact with authorities. It's one of the conditions that when these girls have contacted me, they have, first off, I mean, at the beginning, I've not even been allowed into the squats. I've been meeting them on corners, giving them food. It's only been the case that when one of the babies needed medication and I ran and got it for them, and they called me late in the evening. So I sort of, I ran out, and that's how I managed to get my first in. And from then, we've just built a trust.
How long have you been doing this for?
My restaurant was closed down on the Friday. Me and my twin decided that we was going to try takeaways, but we've stopped that now because so many cases came in. It was impossible to get out to them all and keep the business running on takeaways. So we stopped that, and we've just sort of concentrated on these cases. It's harder for my sister, I must say. My kids are older. I remember when my babies were small, like River is, and I contact her every day. She's been helping massively from her house.
Yeah.
But she's in pieces, because she's got a little one, and luckily that's how it's affecting our community. And they're all feeling it. I mean, the women that turned up today, and it's weird because it's predominantly women. I'd say 95% women. But everyone's turned up there, and it's amazing what they've bought. They didn't just bring one bag, these people. They was bringing 6-7 bags. Really, really heartwarming. Amazing turnout.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And how are you finding, with the lockdown, is it difficult to travel around in Spain and deliver their goods? Are you finding it difficult?
there's been so many police that have been so amazing. I was feeding the homeless yesterday in a homeless community, and some police turned up, and I thought, here I go again, because it's about 8-9 times a day at the moment. If I'm driving for 15 to 17 hours, I can literally be pulled 5-6 times in a day. And some of them have been absolute, they've not been nice.
Yeah.
But these guys jumped out, and I thought, here it goes again. Went to get my passport and everything, and they was actually giving bags of food to the homeless. And I said, listen, I've just given them 3 boxes. They don't need anything. They went, no, we give it. And then I said, do you mind if I take a picture? Which they actually allowed me to do. But it was so lovely.
Yes.
And I've met quite a few like that. Some of them have even come and patted me on the back and said, you're doing a really great job, and got pulled by some Garda Civil that were particularly horrible. It's not been nice. I've had a couple of fines along the way, so that should be interesting to pay them at the end. But I think it's a mixed bag.
So how are you funding all of this? Like, how are you paying for the stuff that you're delivering? I mean, you said that you've given up your restaurant takeaway delivery service in order to focus on looking after these women. So how are you funding it? How are you finding the money?
The family. It started with the family just all putting in together, and then I'd go shopping and get as much as I could. Then a lady called Pippa got involved, and she done. I'm absolutely useless to anything technical, and I don't even know how to set up any of these pages. So she set up one of those PayPals, and she got loads of money donated and went and bought food. The only thing that we've been really one thing that has to be with anything that I do the charity work, and anyone that's working with me on this, when they take a donation, they take a picture of a receipt of everything that's been bought, so that people are aware of where the money's going. And I do think that's very important, that people do see what we're getting and see where it's going.
Yeah.
And then obviously now we've set up this GoFundMe page, but this is for the bigger picture, to help more families get them out of these squats.
Yeah.
Do I mean, I've been here nearly 20 years, as I say, and I am really shocked. I'm really shocked that I didn't know that there was so many bad cases. I mean,
and you mentioned earlier that you've actually got a son yourself. So how are you managing doing all the deliveries and everything with a child at home that you obviously, presumably, he's now also in lockdown and not at school?
Yeah, I've got 2 kids. Oscar's 9, Archie's 12. Their dad's been helping. My sister's been helping. It's only been, the family just sort of jumping in for me. And I must say, I'm pretty buzzing on the fact that I don't have to do the homework, because it was killing me. Daily, I was dreading waking up. Now I sort of jump up, make a load of excuses about kids I've got to get to, and leg it out the door and leave it to someone else, which I've got to say I'm enjoying immensely.
Yeah, no, I'm not really enjoying homeschooling, and a lot of people I've been talking to are finding it very difficult at the moment to do the homeschooling. So a bit more about you. How did you start or get into charity work in the beginning?
But it's always been my way. Since I was 16, it was the first time I volunteered to Christmas go and feed the homeless, and I've just always had that mentality. I think it's really important as well for children to see their parents work for their community, because we've all seen the change in the youth now, and I don't think anybody's particularly impressed with it. I think it's really important to bring back the old school moral and let people know that it's all about helping each other.
That's a good thing. So what advice would you give to people who want to get involved and maybe something in their community, or how can they help you?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. There's so much people can be doing. They don't need to help me, they don't. If someone wants to contact me on Facebook and get a collection together, I mean, that would be amazing. I will make sure it gets out to the right people. If someone wants to donate onto our GoFundMe, that would be amazing.
I'll put the links to that in our description.
If you're in a completely different area,
or a different country, like how can they get involved? How can people get involved?
Get onto their local pages. We all know we have these buy, sell, swap sites. Put a post up on your buy, sell, swap site. Ask somebody if anybody is needing help, if they're an old person, if they're a family. People don't, not everyone finds it easy to take. And a lot of the people that I've gone to have been so bloody embarrassed. And I say to them, everyone's in the same boat. There's no need to be embarrassed, but they are. And it's not easy for people to take. Put a heartwarming post up, let people contact you, ask your friends to donate, and get out there and help people. We can all do something. There is so many people that need help, and there's so many people that can give it, and genuinely there's so many people that want to help.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Kara.
pray to God this lonely quarantine puts the love back in the lovelessness and hope inside a dream, a dream.